Alright, let's look at the homework 10, problem number 14. Alright, so we want to find the Riemann sum S sub 5, and given the function f of x equals 25 minus 3x squared on the over the interval from -1 to 9, and using the sample point to be the midpoint. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so first is we have an interval from -1 to 9. Alright, so here's a -1 to 9. So we split that into 5 subintervals. So in this case, delta x is going to be, alright, so 9 minus -1. So length of the interval is 10. And divide by 5 subintervals, so divide by 5. So it's going to be 2. Alright. So it's so divide into 5, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so since this is -1, so this is going to be 1, and 3, 5, 7. All right. Then CK, so it's going to be a midpoint. So we're talking about these guys. So midpoint here. So this is going to be 0, which is C1. And the midpoint here is 2, so that's going to be our C2. And the midpoint here is 4, so that's going to be C3. And the midpoint here is 6, and this is C4. And this is here, so 7, 8, so it's going to be C5. So all you have to do is to find the S5. So S5 is equal to, alright, so f of C1, which is 0, plus f of 2, C2, and f of 4, plus f of 6, plus f of 8, and multiply by delta x, which is 2. Alright, so let's compute that. Alright, so if you plug in 0 in here, so that's 25, plus if you plug in 2, so it's a 2 squared is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, so 25 minus 12 would be 13, so you have 13, and plus I plug in 4, let's see, 4 times 4 is 16, 16 times 3, and let's see, 18 and 48. Alright, so 25 minus 48 would be -23. So it's a -23. And plus, alright, and the 6, plug in 6, 6 times 6 is 36, and times 3, and 18, so 108. So 25 minus 108 would be negative 83. Alright, plus, alright, plugging 8. 64, 8 squared is 64 times 3. So that's 2 here, and 12, 18, so 192. So 25 minus 182, what's that? So I'm going to do, let's see, 25 minus, actually, I'm going to just subtract 25 from there. All right, so you have, let's see, 7, and 8 minus 2 is 6, and 167 with the negative sign. So it's going to be negative 167. And then multiply by 2. All right, so let's do this computation here. All right, so I'm gonna just let's say this is easy to do. So it's a -10. So it's going to be 15. All right, so you have 15 minus that's going to be a big number. So I'm going to just add 0 and 8. So it's going to be 5, 250. So times 2, so that's going to be -2 235 times 2, so it's negative 470. Right? So that's the value. So let's plug it in. Right? We found that to be negative 470. Alright, let's check the answer. Alright, we got that. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.